Good evening, and thank you for attending the second annual Gold Force Gala hosted by Georgia Southwestern State University and the GSW Alumni Association. Please continue enjoying your meal as the program will get started, but we want you to enjoy the night, enjoy the fellowship. My name is Stephen Snyder, and we felt like the first gala last year went really well, so we decided to do another one. And judging by tonight's attendance, I think we'll do it again next year. In all seriousness, we are very excited you've joined us tonight. As you can see from the program, we have an outstanding list of awardees to recognize and a few announcements we're eager to share with you later in the program. Along with our awardees, there are a few special guests we would like to recognize. We have a member of the University System of Georgia Board of Regents, our friend Cade Joyner, has joined us tonight. I'd like to welcome the GSW Alumni Association President Andrea Ingram and all of the members of the Alumni Association Board. Chairman of the GSW Foundation Board of Trustees, Ricky Arnold, is also here, as are many foundation trustees, and we have President Neil Weaver and his wife, Christy Weaver. If you were in attendance last year, you noticed that we pulled out all the stops to transform the Storm Dome into a beautiful setting. And as you can see, that has not changed this year. What also has not changed is the outstanding meal you have begun to enjoy. Aladdin Campus Dining has hit the mark again this year, and they are our premier gold sponsor for this evening. So please give them a hand. I would also like to recognize and say thanks to the committee responsible for planning this event, led by Angela Smith. Let's give Angela a hand first. John Tankersley and Carrie Willis from Aladdin, Jen Smith, Andrea Ingram, Cheryl Fletcher, Ryan Garnto, David Jenkins, Christy Weaver, Sean McGee, Angie Christmas, Chelsea Collins, Sydney Scott, Bob Slinker, Royce Hackett, and Leon Holloway and his team at Gatewood's Flower Shop. So thank you again. Very special thanks to GSW Physical Plant Director Jen Smith and her staff who have converted the arena into what you see tonight. You'll continue to hear us giving thanks throughout the night, so bear with us, but I would like to give them a hand. Regarding the silent auction, remember to keep track of your bids, whether you're online, the online portion, you should have access to that on your phones. A QR code and Wi-Fi credentials are at your table if you need those. We want this to be an enjoyable night for you with great food, good fellowship, but by the time you leave, we hope it is clear that Georgia Southwestern alumni are doing great things, and we hope you understand that contributions to Georgia Southwestern do immeasurable good for our students and the campus. In each small box on your table is a small token of our appreciation, a key that signifies you are the key to our success, and the key doubles as a bottle opener. Whether you've attended GSW Athletics annual Hailstorm fundraiser, you are one of our record number of donors for 2023, or you've contributed a major gift towards the Griffin Bell Conference Center, which begins next month. Your support matters. And by the way, there are a few naming opportunities still available in the Griffin Bell project. Last year, we gave you an update on our $1 million Propel Scholarship fundraising campaign. At the time, we had raised just over $500,000. The last 12 months have been productive in advancing the campaign forward, thanks in great part to some of our committed alumni volunteer advocates. Jeff and Amy Benton, Doug and Yolanda Moses, and Will and Brooke Peterson have all initiated scholarship pledges during this year. They are all in the room tonight, and I'm grateful for their support And in addition, some scholarships established this year or last year by Ginger Starlin and Bill and Ann Harris. They both have scholarships that have matured over the last year. And I don't want to say any more names because I know I'm going to leave someone out. We have a lot of great donors, so thank you. Please. Regarding the Propel campaign, and because of support from caring and generous individuals like them, I am thrilled to announce that the final numbers will be revealed later this evening. We wouldn't have these balloons here if it wasn't going to be a good night. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the James G. Dariso Scholarship recipient, Ricky Poole. Ricky lives in Albany, Georgia, and commutes to and from campus. She is a great example of how hard work and dedication yield results, and that it's never too late to pursue your dreams. Ricky?
Thank you. Thank you, Stephen. I am not a traditional student, and my path to college has not been traditional. Balancing life as a single mother, a full-time employee, and a full-time college student has been challenging. President Theodore Roosevelt once said, "Nothing in the world is worth having or worth doing unless it means effort, pain, and difficulty." I believe this to be true, and I also believe things worth having are attained thanks to the support of others. So it is my honor to speak with all of you tonight, Georgia Southwestern University supporters. I grew up in Edmond, Oklahoma, a suburb just north of Oklahoma City. I had a good childhood, and my family has made me the woman I am today. They showed me love, support, and encouragement. I met the father of my child on a trip to Atlanta as a young college student to attend the Battle of the Bands. He was from Albany, Georgia, and I was young and in love. My grandmother encouraged me to follow my heart. You never know where this road may lead. She was right about that. My daughter, Kaylin, is the best thing in my life. She is sitting right over there. We are more than mother and daughter. We are best friends. She cheers me on when I get discouraged or overwhelmed with balancing motherhood as a single parent, school, and work. She pushes me to stay focused and work harder from one day to the next. I have been at my current employer for 17 years. I have worked with some great people, and I have seen my work rewarded through promotion. It has all not been perfect, though. One of my most challenging days, a problematic boss doubted my ability by saying, "Does she really know what she is doing, or is she just simply king in numbers?" I will never forget those words because they broke my spirit, and I cried. But in an encouraging moment of clarity, my mother suggested rather than cry about it, she said to ask yourself what my next step was. I wiped my tears away. I knew exactly what to do. Return to school, earn my degree, and provide a better life for my daughter and me. As Teddy Roosevelt said, anything worth doing involves effort and difficulty. Returning to college later in life is difficult, and it requires effort. One challenging semester, I failed my intermediate accounting 1 final. I had never failed an exam since beginning at Georgia Southwestern. I felt like a failure. Having earned a B as my final grade in the class, you think I wouldn't have been in a better state of mind. That wouldn't have been possible without the support of accounting professors like Danielle Taylor, Carol Bishop, and others, as well as my family and my daughter cheering me on. Being from Oklahoma, I was unfamiliar with Georgia Southwestern until my daughter competed in a math tournament on campus when she was in elementary school. I will never forget my first impression. The scenery was beautiful, and the friendliness of the faculty, staff, and students was very attractive. The decision was easy when it was time to select a college to attend. I only applied to one school, Georgia Southwestern. I chose accounting as my major because I'd been working with numbers since I was 16 as a cashier at a local grocery store. My passion for working with finances has only grown. I love anything that involves numbers or a spreadsheet. Yes, I am a nerd. Like any college student, however, I am not terribly fond of tuition bills. Scholarship support has served as a great relief each academic year. This year, I am grateful to be a recipient of the Georgia Southwestern Foundation's James Deriso Scholarship within the College of Business and Computing. Since receiving this scholarship, I have learned that John and Betty Pope, the late benefactors, cared deeply for Georgia Southwestern. I am happy to make them proud. I was also honored to receive the competitive PCAOB, or Public Company Accounting Oversight Board Scholarship, worth $10,000. I feel like this will look good on my resume. So if there are any accountants in the room to hire a hardworking Georgia Southwestern graduate in 2025, give me a call. This is truly a special night, and I am very honored to be a part of it. I hope you all know that your support of the university is of great value to all students, whether traditional or not. Thank you for being here, and thank you for letting me share my story. Everyone have a good night. Thank you so much.
Wow, she was really good. Great job, Ricky. Now, it is my pleasure, well, I've already said that. I'm lost in my program here. Now, it is time for me to find my place. Okay, here we go. Ricky's story is a perfect illustration of how donor generosity meets the needs of students. And now, I would like to give you that chance. On the back of the program is a QR code that, when scanned, will direct you to a giving form where you can contribute to Georgia Southwestern online. Between now and our Propel campaign announcement a little later, you can make a gift that will be included in the final tally. So get busy.
Good evening. I'm Angela Smith, and I proudly serve in the Office of Alumni Affairs here at Georgia Southwestern State University. Go Canes! I'm so thrilled to see all of you here in this amazing space, which is the site of basketball games, convocations, and of course, graduations. The Gold Force Gala is celebrating its second year. And I'm so thankful for the fantastic group of individuals and students that have transformed this space and weighed in on making this year's gala even better than before. Give everybody a hand. But I'd have to say it's all of you that have added just that perfect amount of sparkle to make this an evening we won't soon forget. In addition, we are thrilled to be celebrating our outstanding alumni this year, and man, have we got a good class for you. Throughout this evening, you will see video introductions for each recipient. We want to thank all of the special friends and colleagues who shared personal thoughts and observations about each winner. These videos would not have been made possible were it not for Mr. Bob Slinker in the back, who worked tirelessly to put them together in such a way that will be memorable for all of you, but especially our honorees. So, without further ado, let's get this party started, shall we?
So how I met the Smith family through my dad. They were very close family, friends growing up. Growing up, I would hear all these crazy stories from college and after college, and the Butler stories. I think everybody that's been a Cap Sig in America has had some sort of Butler connection or Butler story. But I grew up hearing those. My dad used to bring me to Founders Day every year, so meeting some of them through that. And then I actually met Miss Phyllis, their mother, when I was a freshman in high school. I had knee surgery in Columbus, and we actually stopped through Butler, and that's the first time I remember meeting her. The Smith family, as far as like the core Smith family and the married or the in-laws, if you will, they both were heavy in the Greek organizations here on campus. And I think a lot of that is translated into the leadership of, you have a superintendent, you have principals, teachers, business owners. I think you can definitely see those qualities have transcended through that. The connections, obviously it made lifelong connections. It kind of sews a little small world together where, you've got, Mr. Jeff that married his sister. They're all Cap Sigs. It just kind of sews it all in there together. So being part of a Greek organization, it kind of makes it gives you all those extra connections and also brings the world smaller, if you will, because we live in a small world as is. I think the Smith family is a perfect fit for the Legacy Award. If you look at their family, with how many of them attended Southwestern, how many of them married somebody they met at Southwestern, I feel like this kind of embodies Georgia Southwestern as a whole. It encompasses, the fact that you have the smaller college, that everybody knows everybody. You create these lasting core memories, and have a great time while you're here, and you get to meet, the love of your life, if you will, and look at them as a perfect embodiment of it. It is an honor and a privilege to introduce the Smith family as your Family Legacy Award winners this year.
So, as the Smith family would please make their way to the stage, I would just like to let you guys know that the Legacy Award winner, y'all, all the Smiths, there's a bunch of you, I know, give you a little time to get up here. It's given to a multi-generational family with a tradition of attending GSW, and that has shown continued interest in and support of the university. This family, as you heard, is riddled with GSW alumni. Alan, Wayne, Edie, Stephen, Todd, and Dane, and to seal the deal, many met their spouses at GSW for double the fun. And they are fun. So please give another round of applause for the Smiths.
Thank you so much for this prestigious award. And Ryan Garnto, thank you so much for your words. We're a big group, and we do have fun. We're the Butler group, so you're all welcome to come. There were about twice as many of us to be here tonight, but unfortunately our mom has been sick. She'll be 93 in May. She wanted all of you to know she sent a lot of money to Georgia Southwestern College. There were 6 of us that attended Georgia Southwestern, and several years, she said, there were 3 of us in school at a time. From 1971 to 1987, she was paying tuition, and young folks, this was before the Hope Scholarship, so just get your brains around that. But we love Georgia Southwestern. Many of us, like me and 3 of my brothers, found our spouses here. So, and I've been married 44 years to this guy, so that's pretty strong. We love the school. We love Americus. We got a great education here. Each and every one of us has done well. We got a degree that led us to a great career. We're taking care of our children and our grandchildren, and so happy to be honored here tonight. Another thing that has to be mentioned is the many, many wonderful friends that we made at Georgia Southwestern. Several are sitting at our table tonight. So we're so thankful for lifelong friends and the beauty of a close-knit community like America's. We've got the mayor at our table and his beautiful wife. Just so many wonderful ties, and those are the things that you can't put a value on. So thank you to Georgia Southwestern for all you've done for our family, and we ask that you'll pray for our mom, Phyllis Smith Heath. We have a lovely dad, Jimmy Smith, who loved this college as well. He passed in '97, but we do appreciate this honor as a legacy award, and we are welcoming all of you to come to Butler. And we do dance. We have a great time. We learned it here at Southwestern, and please don't ask my husband to gator. That's all I'll say about that. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I'm not sure that the dance floor is going to be big enough for the gator, but I'd almost pay money to see it just because she mentioned it. As a point of personal privilege, I would like to thank and recognize the Alumni Association President, Dr. Andrea Ingram. I know she's over here somewhere. Yes, hey. And the Board of Directors for all that they do to help support me and to also fulfill our mission to unite and encourage alumni loyalty and engagement. We've really seen a tremendous increase in the past few years, and it really, really is exciting to see all the activity that's going on. If you're a current or life member of the Alumni Association, would you just wave your hand? Thank you so much. Lewin J. Finkley was our first alumni director, and the award named for her recognizes individuals who have demonstrated exceptional service to campus life. The Alumni Association, Campus Life, the Alumni Association, and the university. This year's award recipient has been giving back in multiple ways for many years, including, but not limited, to our association. Let's roll that video.
I met Will when he came to Georgia Southwestern, and he joined Kappa Sigma fraternity, and I was a member of that as well, and I was graduating about the same time he was getting here, and met him through that. Shortly after that, my first job that I had was with a company called TCI in Ellaville, and Will was an intern with us and worked with us through the program through GSW, and I really got to know Will and how he handles himself and all that. Will is honest, he's hardworking, he's giving, he's a servant, he's always thinking of others before himself. And actually I looked something up online and wanted to quote it from Google, just so I wouldn't mess it up. Because when I think of Will, I think of salt of the earth. And according to Google, salt of the earth is a phrase that means a person who is honest, hardworking, and reliable. The phrase is often used to describe someone who is down to earth, humble, genuine, and who is considered to be a valuable and important member of society. That speaks volumes for Will. Will's salt of the earth. Will is a fitting recipient for the Lewin Finkley Alumni Award, because as long as I can remember, when Will moved to Americas, he's been involved in some way, shape, or fashion with GSW, whether it be a student, an athlete, anything. He's been on the Alumni Association for many years, on the Board of Trustees. He served as the chair. He's always involved in athletics. Anything he can do to make the school and the campus better, he's first in line to give of his time and his resources. And now it is my honor and privilege to introduce Will Peterson as the next Lewin J. Finkley Alumni Award winner for Georgia Southwestern State University.
We're thrilled to have Will Peterson with us. This may not be the Will Peterson you thought. This is actually his son, Jace. Will was under the weather, and we just appreciate Jace being here to accept the award on his father's behalf. Would you like to say anything? Do you want to get a picture over here? Well done. Your dad would have been really, really proud. Thanks, Brooke. I want to express my appreciation to Stuart Perry and everyone at Perry Wellness Center and Rudy's Happy Patch for providing our greenery this evening, and for everyone who helped transport all the many, many truckloads of ferns. I'm so grateful for the volunteers who helped bring the vision to fruition for this wonderful evening of celebration. Speaking of celebration, let's get back to it. The Young Alumnus of the Year is given to an emerging leader making waves in his or her field, serves as a role model, and whose actions reflect positively on the university. I think you will find our next recipient is the whole package, and we couldn't be prouder to call her an outstanding alumni of Georgia Southwestern State University. Let's hear from someone who knows her well.
So I met Kelsey in 2006 when she burst onto the stage at GSW. She was such a force of energy, and as a young freshman, just making lots of new friends and getting involved in so many activities, and in a very short time period, she was a student leader. And she came to work in our office as a student worker. And we had a need. I was recently in admissions, and we really needed a better tour program. And so we had a great student, we had a need, and we put those two together, and Kelsey became our first intern for student tour guides, and she did an amazing job. She really set the standard for everyone who came after her, and we had such great feedback. That position still exists today on our campus. Kelsey is vivacious, she is hardworking, she is full of life, she is fun to be around, and I think that all those qualities really have made her outstanding, not only in her professional field. Certainly we're very proud of her professional accomplishments, but as a person, as a friend and a wife and a daughter and a sister, a mom, she's just outstanding in all of those areas, and someone that you enjoy being around, someone who I know would make others comfortable in the work environment, because she makes people comfortable in every area. Kelsey has accomplished great things in her professional career. She was the first named partner for Maulding and Jenkins, who was not an accountant. They saw a need similar to what I saw. They had a need in the HR and marketing area. They had a great employee, and they created a new position, and she's nailed it. So we're very proud of her in that aspect. But as I said, on a personal level, she's just the full package, and so I really am so proud of her personally for not only her professional accomplishments, but her endeavors as just as a human. I know that she still makes efforts to keep up with her college girlfriends, and that's so hard when you're killing it in your career and you're a wife and mom and daughter, and she still makes the effort to reach out to others, and I just think that speaks volumes about the kind of person that she is. I am so honored to announce Kelsey Dieter as the 2024 Outstanding Young Alumnus for Georgia Southwestern State University.
Okay, I'm going to be a little emotional. Can't help it. But Gay, thank you for your kind words. Thank you for this honor. I'm not sure I'm deserving or young anymore, but I'll accept it. The foundation I gained here is just unmatched. I'm forever thankful for my parents that encouraged me for the last campus tour to take a chance on Georgia Southwestern, and the baseball player that was paired with us, because that was a good recruiting tool by the admissions team. It worked. But seriously, I'm thankful for the many here that have supported me for making this a university I'm so proud to be alumnus of. Thank you again, especially to my table of family. I'm not sure which one, 8, I think. But thank you for my son, Jack, who was so excited to get in the tux and come to this event. And thank you to Malden and Jenkins. I know we're a sponsor tonight, but I'm so proud to be a part of a great company that has provided such a wonderful career. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelsey. And just, and I'm not sure if this has already been mentioned, we want to thank Chuck Wells in our glassblowing department, who is responsible for the awards this evening. I want to thank Mike Leader at table 1 over here, the GSW Athletics Department, and specifically the basketball teams and their coaches for allowing us to take over the Storm Dome for the gala this evening. We're right smack dab in the middle of basketball season, and this was a huge sacrifice on their behalf, and I can't tell you how many of the basketball players I had to apologize to this evening. But I do want to mention that the athletics department is not just building student athletes, but are developing leaders both on and off the court. And we are grateful for their commitment to the athletics program. We want to ask that you mark your calendar for Friday, May 10th, as golf balls will fall from the sky in the 5th annual Hailstorm. The money raised in that event has been instrumental in growing the programs and improving our facilities, helping us in recruitment of awesome student athletes that perform in the classroom as well as they do on the courts and the fields. Speaking of athletics, the inductee into the GSW Athletics Hall of Fame is no stranger to the university or its athletic events. When the Canes play, you will more often than not spot our next award recipient amongst the fans and sometimes on the court during halftime of the basketball games. He has been a staple on our campus for years. From his time as a student until present day, though he is retired, he is admired by many and has impacted numerous students throughout his career, but don't just take my word for it. Let's hear from someone else that knows him pretty well.
Irvin's been affiliated with our athletic department from the time he came on campus as a math instructor back in the mid-'80s. So you're looking at close to a 40-year investment, of Irvin's time, his resources, and just his overall spirit, helping the athletic department grow from an NAI institution to where we're at today as an NCAA Division II competitive program. If I had to describe Irvin and use a couple of adjectives, Irvin is reliable, a guy that's a military vet, so reliability is always a trait that you'll find in military. Irvin's caring to look at the mentorship that he's provided current student athletes, to look and see that there's a guy that's been here for 40 years, the success he's had professionally, and then the amount of time that he invests in GSW athletics is certainly something that we could all aspire to. Irvin's an ideal candidate to be in the GSW Athletics Hall of Fame. For a guy like Irvin, it goes beyond what maybe you did in a 4 or 5 year playing career. His contributions have been immeasurable from the time he started on as a math instructor here in the mid-'80s. He was one of the founding members of our booster club. He sponsors the Mr. A half-court shootout during the men's and women's basketball games on our campus. He's a resource that you can go to, not just about GSW athletics, but the university as a whole. I find myself talking to Irvin about things that have happened here in the past, and his 40-year encyclopedia of knowledge, about the university, the community, and the department are certainly something that we value and think that makes him an ideal choice to be in our Hall of Fame. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the newest member of the GSW Athletics Hall of Fame, Mr. Irvin Anderson.
Good evening. Since I came here in 1985, I remember the football team we used to have. There's some guys out here sitting out that used to play on that football team back in '85. I participated in all the games. I had my sons come to the games. Sometimes it wasn't too many people at the games. But what I like to do is thank the athletic department for this award. And we need to support them as much as we can, financially, support them by coming to the games and the athletic events. And there is one thing I always tell my students, whether they are athletes or not: you got to be academic excellent and be socially aware. Thank you.
As we mentioned in the introductory video for Irvin Anderson, he has been a partner with GSW Athletics in helping many young men make the transition to being a college student athlete. Aladdin Campus Dining is also a great partner with the university, and tonight, as they are our gold sponsor. We hope you're enjoying your meal. They put a lot of time and effort into it, and we feel like it's certainly one of the best events we have all year. The Visionary Award is given to an entrepreneur or innovator with a commitment to turn a vision into reality, the courage to assume risk, and the ability to make changes and create new opportunities. Our next awardee certainly embodies these traits.
Innovative Senior Solutions was birthed because of our grandmother. She was our very first client. Betty, Shonda, and I, we're both registered nurses. We both worked in every role of nursing, and we've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly in nursing. And we wanted to make a difference. We wanted to make impact, and we wanted to make sure our grandmother had a choice in where she wanted to be taken care of. That the nursing home wasn't her only option, that she could live out the rest of her life at home. Ishanda is a visionary because she has the foresight. She takes the ordinary, what I would see as the ordinary, and make it into something amazing. For example, she's a strategic thinker. She has courage. She takes ideas, she takes those and make them into action. They become action. And so I've just seen her do it time and time again. And I can just think of when we were going to purchase a building, one of our centers, and no one had occupied the building for about 10 years. And we walked in and it was a dump in my eyes. But she was like, oh, I can see this, I can see that. This is what we can do here. And so she just has the foresight, and she can just see beyond the natural eye and make it come into fruition. It's with immense gratitude, joy, and pride that I introduce not only my sister, but my business partner and my best friend. A true visionary, a true boss in every sense. So I introduce to some and I present to others the 2024 Visionary Award winner, Miss Ishonda Blue.
Wow, my sister can keep a secret. I was told that we didn't have to do a speech, but this feels kind of speechy. I want to give honor to God, first of all. I want to thank my parents. I want to thank my mom, who's here with me, who, as a little girl, always told me that get an education and you can do anything that you want to do, and I believed her. I want to thank my dad, who made sure I was not a stranger to hard work. I could have went into lawn care. I cut so much grass. But I want to thank him for that, and I also thank him for the entrepreneur spirit that I have. I want to thank this great nursing department that we have here at GSW. Yes. Now, when I went through the nursing department, it didn't feel good because at the time, because if you were late to class, you got dropped a letter grade. Or if you came to clinicals and you didn't have your uniform on or your nurse hat on, you got dropped a letter grade. Cover the triplets' ears, because I was making C's at the time. And so if you made a D, you was out of the program. But it made me step up my game. It prepared me as a professional. And of course, at the time, I didn't know this, but it prepared me for an entrepreneur. So I'm just so thankful tonight for this award, and I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful for my family that's here, that is my anchor, that allows me to do what I do every day. So thank you.
Congratulations again, Ishonda. The event tonight is also made possible thanks to numerous volunteers, the ones that I mentioned earlier, but also many others that were in the room setting up the tables that you're sitting at right now. Important among them is the advancement and foundation staff. Whether processing registration or promoting the event, they have been active behind the scenes. And you have also no doubt noticed the finely dressed students welcoming you inside, guiding you to your table, and answering your questions. I'd like to thank many of our best students who serve as marshals, and they are a big part of making this event special. The 2024 Canes Community Champion has made a career out of helping GSW nursing students successful, and in the ways that Ishonda just mentioned, it's not a cakewalk. They have to earn it. They've been successful in healthcare facilities across the Southeast. And this award recognizes a dedicated servant of the community who shows a fervent record of collaboration with and advocacy for GSW. That is truly Sandra Daniel.
I know Dr. Daniel, Sandra, as a good friend and as a colleague, and I have known Sandra for well over 30 years. Our children grew up together. We've maintained those friendships, both the children and the parents, through the years. When I think of Sandra, I think of someone who is visionary, dependable, approachable, proactive, and always the consummate professional. So it's of no surprise to anyone that our nursing program is where it is today. Sandra has navigated that program through some tumultuous times in the community, in society, and in healthcare, and that program has grown and flourished. It's actually been recognized twice as the best nursing school in Georgia. We've added a master's program and resurrected an associate's program, overall increasing and doubling the enrollment. Sandra exemplifies the attributes of a Canes community champion in that she has a strong advocacy and support in the community, as well as an affiliation and support of Georgia Southwestern State University. The affiliation with this institution actually began back in the 70s as a student, and then transitioned to a 36-year tenure on faculty. Within the community, I can personally attest to the fact that she has worked tirelessly with local hospitals and healthcare entities to not only increase the volume of the nursing workforce, but the quality of the nursing workforce, and that has proven invaluable. It is my esteemed honor to introduce my friend, Dr. Sandra Daniel, as the Canes Community Champion 2024 for Georgia Southwestern State University.
Well, Midge, I will say you keep a secret well. I did not know you would be doing the introductions. I want to say thank you for honoring me with the Canes Community Champion Award. Being a native of Sumter County, some of you will recognize that Andersonville is my hometown. I know the importance of the university. I remember quite clearly in the 60s, my father, he clearly had a sigh of great relief when he read in the paper that we had changed from a 2-year college to a 4-year college. That there was no doubt at that time where I would be attending college, and I did not ever regret that decision. I was fortunate to attend a university that had a program that was known for its excellence, and I was so pleased to be a student. I even found a husband along the way, so he was a part of my life. I later returned to my alma mater, and that's where I have taught for 36 years. But excellence became my mantra with the program operation, and it has never changed. And the many graduations that I have sat in on this stage, it just made a really big difference in so many lives to have a university here in Americas. Some people might ask, why did you wait so long to retire? Well, I say, when you enjoy what you're doing and believe in what you're doing, you never want to quit. So it's part of my identity, and we have a story to tell, and that, I hope, is what I have done. I want to thank so many of you for your unwavering support, whether it was for money for a new building or new simulators, or for placement of just one more student in an already crowded clinical area, or for the generous scholarships that you all provide. Those make a difference. And I thank you for listening to the need and responding so generously. I know I'm taking more than 30 seconds, but I'm sorry. I want to thank you, a group of people here tonight, the faculty and staff of Georgia Southwestern State University. I thank you. Without you, I couldn't have done it. I wouldn't have been successful. And I just want to say that each of you were selected with excellence in mind, and you have made a difference. So each person has delivered. Phoebe Sumter, Phoebe Healthcare System, and Magnolia Manor, y'all are integral to our success. Thank you for your support, and I do hope that we've made a positive difference. To my husband, I thank you for your support. You have been there for many, many years on the home front and even at the university. I thank you for that. And my sons, Davis and Logan. Davis couldn't be here tonight. He's serving in the military in Guam, but he, his wife, and his 3 children are here in spirit. But my youngest son, Logan, and his wife, Courtney, they are here tonight. And I thank you for that, and for the delightful 2 grandchildren that you have given me. Brooks and Blakely, they await us when we return tonight, and that is what inspires me now. I look forward to the many, many things that will happen in the School of Nursing, because I know I leave it in a good place. I thank you for that. Thank you.
Stay here.
Oh my goodness.
Dr. Daniel has, as you've heard, been a part of this institution for a while. She's outlasted 4 presidents. And I'm fortunate enough to be the one that's here when we get to say thank you to Dr. Daniel.
Thank you.
When somebody retires, I have the authority. I don't have much authority around here, but I get to do some things. And one of the things I have the authority to do is grant emeritus status. And so you will now be known as Dean Emeritus for the rest of your career. I think that gets you an email address forever. I don't know what else it gets you, but that's about it. But more importantly, you mentioned Phoebe Putney Healthcare System and some of our other partners. And I want you to know that through their generosity, thank you very much, and their generosity and several others, we have collected over $300,000 to create the very first endowed chair in the history of Georgia Southwestern State University. So the dean of the College of Nursing and Health Sciences will now forever hold the Sandra Daniel Endowed Chair in Nursing Science in your honor.
Thank you.
So, congratulations.
Oh my gosh, that's a surprise.
Sit down.
Congratulations, Sandra. And I want to remind everybody why we're here tonight is to honor outstanding alumni. And Sandra is certainly one of our most outstanding. And now we're going to honor one more outstanding alum. The Aeolian Award is given to alumni who distinguish themselves in their profession as well as in their community. This award is chosen based on outstanding lifetime achievement as a distinguished alumni and a community leader. I think it would be an understatement to say that our next awardee is a worthy recipient. He's a lot more than that, and I'm going to let our next video describe him a little bit better than that.
I have known Richard Allen Whaley, Rick Whaley, all of his life because he actually is my first cousin, and we grew up together. At times, his parents were in the service, so at times during his life, he would come and stay with us and our family over in Rochelle, Georgia, and he was just part of our family, always has been and always will be. Rick Whaley has always been a very honest Christian man. He's very positive. He's definitely a team leader, as he is currently sitting president of the Citizens Bank of Americas, and he sits on lots of other boards too. He has taken Americas and put us on the map throughout the state because of his influence that he has on other people. He is a very guiding person. He is a leader. He is a motivator. He has a vision, and he follows his vision through. But most of all, I would say he's very honest and very ethical, and that's what I like in a businessman. I'm really excited that Rick is getting the Aeolian Award. He shows the love that he has for the community every day. He works at a community bank. It has remained a community bank. He has put a lot of time, effort, and love into this community. Rick has a vision and is able to work with a team, and he takes that vision and sees it all the way through. When he came back from the service, he came back, and the only thing he did was go to school. He would take an overload every semester or quarter. We were on the quarterly system then. And he would take an overload every quarter because he was so dedicated to getting out and getting a degree. It is my pleasure and my honor to introduce Rick Whaley as the Aeolian Award winner here at Georgia Southwestern State University. As I've said before, he is humble, he's motivated, he's a leader, he's well-rounded, he is perfect for this award, and I'm excited that you're receiving it. So is everybody in the room, Rick. Congratulations.
Well, Ginger, thank you for those kind words. I know you, like some other members of my family, weren't really sure what I was going to turn out to be. So I'm very appreciative of this award and recognition tonight, and I love this institution. If it weren't for the caring faculty at Georgia Southwestern, I'm not sure that I would be where I am today. As Ginger mentioned, when I enrolled at Southwestern as a freshman, I was 27 years old. I'd been out of high school for 8 years. I was coming off a 4-year enlistment in the Army. And if you think about that, so all of the other freshmen that year in 1986, the fall of 86, were in the 4th grade when I was a senior in high school. So there wasn't a lot of, commonality there. And then if you've ever been in the military, it's always tough to make that transition back into civilian life. And it's even tougher when you're going into a structured classroom environment that you haven't been in over 8 years. So my first quarter at Southwestern was very challenging. And there were many times that I thought about just dropping out and going back into the military, because the military will let you come back after within 90 days of your ETS date, and everything, you just go back to the same unit and keep doing what you were doing. So there were several times that I considered that, but it was several of the professors here at Southwestern that sort of talked me out of that and encouraged me to stick it out, and I did. And it got easier in the next quarter and the quarter after that, and I took full loads every quarter and finished in less than 3 years. But it was that encouragement from a lot of my professors here that made me stick it out, and so I'll always, forever be grateful for that. So thank you all for being here tonight, and hope you have a great evening. Thank you very much.
And now is the time for us to give you another special announcement with a special exciting announcement from President Neil Weaver and Christy Weaver regarding our Propel campaign.
Good evening. I was doing really well until Sandra got up here. Now I'm all teary-eyed. So y'all look so nice tonight. I know that our marshals were acknowledged, but they're going to come forward, and I'd like to just give you guys a little bit of background on these students. You probably know about our marshal program. It was created back when Rosalind Carter was here, and she was actually a marshal. And then it kind of went by the wayside and died down, and we didn't have it for a while. And when Neil and I got here, we did some research and decided we wanted to bring it back. And so we've worked with these students. They're a great group of kids. I call them my kids, and I get in trouble because they're students. But these students apply to be a marshal. They go through an interview process, and if they're chosen, they have certain standards that they have to meet throughout the year. They have events that they have to attend. They have to attend an event in the fall, one in the spring. They have to work at least one graduation, and they're required to work this event. And I just feel like they step up. 100% of them are on scholarship, but they don't get any money for being marshals. They do this on a volunteer basis. And they are the ambassadors for our university. They are the voice. They attend events. They're encouraged to put themselves out of the box. I hope that you all have had conversation with them tonight. That's what we encourage them to do. We tell them that they can make connections at these events that may affect their life down the road. So I just wanted to kind of put them in the spotlight for once and turn it back on them, because they're kind of hidden gems, and thank them. I'm so fortunate to be an advisor to them with Dr. Jenkins and Dr. Boren. And they're just a great group of kids. So if you haven't had a chance to talk to them, approach them, because we talk to them all the time about be open. You're going to make connections with these people, and there's no telling what they're going to do for you maybe down the road. So thank you all for looking beautiful tonight and for doing such a good job. I just want to say one more thing. I want to thank you all, because you all come back to campus and you meet with your friends and you have a good time, and they're watching. You come back to campus for events, for reunions. They watch you get together and talk about old times and the stories. I promise you they're watching. You come back to this event tonight and you're giving back to scholarships, and that matters to them, and they're watching. So in 10, 15, 20 years, I anticipate these students sitting in these seats receiving these awards. So thank you all.
Well, before I get to the big announcement, I want to thank the Smith family. If we could get every family to do 21 consecutive years of tuition payment, we wouldn't have any money problems here at the university. Mr. Peterson, you did a nice job tonight. Well done, standing in for your father. You should think of that as a preview. In about 30 years, you could be getting one. Yeah, good. Mr. Anderson, of course, he's got the best deal going, by the way. He offers $100 if somebody will make a half-court shot at the basketball game. And you would think, right? He's putting $100 every week, every day, every game. He never loses the $100. It's like the best deal going. And he's probably still got the same $100 bill for the whole time I've been here. I don't think anybody's ever made it. But your support and commitment to our students and their success is certainly worthy of Hall of Fame recognition, not just from athletics, but from the entire university. And he represents so many of our faculty who have been referenced tonight by many of our honorees. The faculty here make an incredible difference in the lives of so many people. And Kelsey Dieter, I've had an opportunity to visit with you several times. We're so proud of you and excited for what's happening in your career and with your family, and we just love having you back on campus every time. And we know that we've got great friends at Malden and Jenkins, and we appreciate all you do for us. And Shonda Ballou, one thing I've learned is that you don't have to necessarily you don't have to create something that's never been done before to be an innovator. You just have to see something that everybody else sees and see it differently. And you do that, and you do it incredibly well. And we're so proud that you continue to stay connected to us as a university. And of course, Rick, I don't know, probably shouldn't say this, but I always wonder, if Rick Whaley sees me doing what I'm doing right now, will I be embarrassed? He's like the conscious, right? I never want to embarrass myself in front of Rick Whaley. So if nothing else, that's you keep me straight and narrow. I appreciate that very much, but we love having you in our community, and you continue to support us in many, many ways and in all your different roles, and so we appreciate that very much. All right. The reason for the balloons. About 15 months ago, we said we were going to raise $1 million for scholarships. And tonight, I can tell you that we had 631 donors come together, and together, you raised $1,250,053. That was spectacular. Well, it's a good try. It was good. Now you have something to dance in. Well, again, Christy and I both want to thank you all. There's so many of you who have made a difference. But I mentioned there were 631 people raised $1.25 million, so there's about 300 of us here tonight, so that's half. So what's that, 700,000? We should be able to do that right here in the next few minutes. All right, maybe not. But anyway, I want you to know that your support, whether it's for scholarships or whether it's for other things here at the university. It's making a difference. In the last 3 years, we have spent $8.2 million on new facilities or renovated facilities. In the year coming up, this 2024, we expect to spend $12.7 million on renovated and new facilities here at the university. And in 2026, I expect that we will spend $22 million on a brand new science facility for Georgia Southwestern. In the last 5 years, you have named 7 endowed professorships. Classrooms. 7 named and endowed classrooms, 3 endowed professorships, and as you heard tonight, 1 endowed chair, the first endowed chair in the history of Georgia Southwestern. You've done $1.25 million in scholarship support. We have, as a result, we are now the fastest growing university in the university system of Georgia, and we have the highest enrollment in the history of the university. We have 5 new degree programs. We have 2 more on the way. We have the best golf team in the entire country. We have 3 conference champions that are defending their championship this spring. And we have the National Softball Player of the Year right here. I think she's over there, Zoe Willis. Our students can compete with anybody, anywhere, in anything. And it's because of your commitment to this university and your continued support of the faculty and the staff and the students here that make that possible. We thank you very much for coming tonight, but we thank you more for how much you love this university. And I hope that you're proud of your university, because we're certainly proud of all of you and all of our honorees tonight. And we're looking forward to hanging out and having a good time. So thank you for coming tonight to the Gold Force Gala. Thank you all very much.
Have any of you ever heard about the restaurant on the moon? Had great food, but terrible atmosphere. No atmosphere. Yeah. That hasn't been the case here tonight, and the atmosphere is about to get even better. So we want you to stick around a little bit. We've got a silent auction to finish at 9 o'clock, so get busy with that. Remember, the band is going to start here shortly, so have fun, dance. And lastly, one more thing. There's going to be a coffee and dessert bar just outside where that first bar was, so you can hang around for that as well. But thank you for being a key to our success and helping us take tomorrow by storm. Thank you.